Ma'am, welcome to episode 93. We have the amazing Red Bull Wheel Girl, Mia Chapman, coming up right after this. Hey, welcome to Mad Dog's After Show. You're in it to win it with the Mad Dog and Cole, the Swedish Switchblade Farrell.
Hall & Oates is breaking up, and I didn't even know they were dating.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm.
And this would be a special shout out to our first responders, who we're all very grateful for. All our firemen, all our paramedics, all of our police force. Thank you so much. We're very grateful for you. And of course, all of our U.S. service people serving all around the world. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your service. Of course, extra special thank you to our POWs, and a huge respectful thank you to the families of those who gave all with KIA, MIA. Great respect. Thank you so much. And while we're thanking people, we want to be sure and thank our great partners and sponsors like Kicker Performance Audio. Find them online, kicker.com, on Instagram at Kicker Audio, on Facebook, Kicker, every other Tuesday night live on their TV show, Kicker Unmasked Live, on Facebook, YouTube, and X now. Check them out. All your 12-volt and personal audio needs. You need premium audio for anything you got. Kicker.com. They got you covered. Of course, Bomber Eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear. Or you pile them all into one and wear what I wear in these boogie bombs. Of course, the white frames, because white wraps matter. In dark smoke polarized safety lens. And they float. Find them online, bombereyewear.com, on Instagram, at Bomber Eyewear, on Facebook, Bomber Eyewear. Of course, where will we be without our man Cole and the Premix podcast, making everything happen on this end and sharing his passion for all things desert racing and MX racing through the lens of a camera. I even saw some soon to be released stuff from Speedway at Orange County the other night. So there's some pretty exciting stuff there. Look him up on Instagram, the @ symbol, ThePremixPodcast, at the Premix Podcast. Also available to book for your MC and announcer needs moving into 2025. Slide into his DMs on Instagram at the Premix Podcast. Of course, Kelsey Morrell Film on Instagram at Kelsey Morrell Film, handling all of our video audio productions, all of our shorts, all of our videos on YouTube, and everything you see video-wise on our social media is compliments of Kelsey Morrell Film. Anything you need done, from stills, pre-production to post-production, videos, commercials, whatever you need, hit her up on Instagram at Kelsey Morrell Film. Of course, our artwork, our social media templates, our website, MAddOG'sGarage.com, all handled through by the amazing Hey Keeks over at Hey Keeks Marketing. You can find her online, heykeeks.com, or on Instagram at Hey Keeks Marketing. Here she is, the First Lady of Red Bull Off-Road Motorsports, Miss Mia Chapman. How are you, kiddo?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you. Thank you for jumping on and helping us out and hanging out. Man, we have a lot to catch up on since you were on last, because we're at episode 93, and I think if I remember right, you were episode 42 or 41. So a lot's happened since then.
Yeah, I know quite a bit. That's crazy. I feel like we just did our episode yesterday. So yeah, time has flown by for sure.
Yeah, and it's a couple of the big things, and I want to jump right into it. Is one, you had a unfortunate landing at the ranch. Was it Ranch Scramble in Texas, right before beach? Um,
Yeah, that was the ranch scramble.
yeah, I had a tough landing and ended up with some back issues, had to wear a back brace, and you did break a vertebrae or something, didn't you?
Yeah, so I broke my T7, and it was just a fracture, luckily. So I didn't need surgery, thank God. I was just in a brace for, God, it felt like forever, but I think it was only
Yeah.
a couple months, and then yeah, I had to jump right from that when I got cleared. It took a little longer than we expected. Um, but luckily it happened kind of in the midst of when everything was slow and I didn't have any races until what was it, earlier September, I think it was. So I had quite a bit of time to get everything back to 100% and not feel rushed with it.
Yeah, and
So
you recovered really fast.
yeah, it was supposed to be I think it was 2 months ish. It ended up being like more like three. But like I said, we kind of just really took our time with it because I didn't
Yeah,
want that to be something I deal with my whole life or more than I had to.
yeah, very
So,
smart.
yeah, I just got finished with physical therapy. I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, if that.
So, and then the other huge news in that same time frame actually is you are 100% Red Bull branded.
Yeah, that it was kind of bittersweet because I got fully branded at or right before the Red Bull Ranch Scramble.
Yeah,
So I got to run the car, run the suit, everything. Unfortunately didn't play out like we thought it would, but
right.
yeah, that was a positive take out of that. So now I'm just yeah, running that with everything. I'm in doing nitrocross right now, so it's pretty cool to have.
Yeah, and I want to get into that part for sure. And I know we were I think I was messaging your dad right after the big announcement, and uh about beach, and he was like, "Yeah, we're planning on being there as long as we can get the cars wrapped and all this stuff and the craziness that was going on getting ready for ranch." And then with ranch, um kudos for sure, because beach was what, 2 weeks later or something like that,
Yeah.
and there you were at beach supporting everybody, high fiving all the other Red Bull athletes that were out there, and stuck in a back brace, and we got to visit a little bit. And I could tell, I was watching your eyes watch the cars while we were talking and stuff, and I could tell you had serious FOMO.
Yeah, I definitely had FOMO going into that. It was literally, I think, like you said, 2 weeks after the ranch scramble. So I was already looking forward to it because that was personally one of my favorite events of the year.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was like, well, if I'm not racing, I'm at least gonna go and be there.
Yeah,
So,
well, and your dad had to be there because he was hauling everybody's Arizona race cars out.
yeah, he drove the entire way there like he did the previous year. I tried very much so to drive with him, and he was like, "No, if you're going, like, you can hop on an airplane. I'd rather you not go at all." But I think he knows how I am with race stuff, so yeah, we
Right.
stayed out there. But it was super fun just hanging out too. Got to talk to you and a lot of other people, but yeah, some FOMO for sure.
Yeah, that race is such an iconic race. I hope it comes back next year for sure. And it was even bigger and better this year than it was last year for sure. And attendance, I mean, even the attendance and the talk around town and all that was just so much more excitement. that it was, and kudos to Red Bull. I mean, they did a great job in getting that all done. So, um, but yeah, fortunately, you didn't have to make any huge long hauls across the country, at least,
Yeah, that was kind of my first time actually flying into a race. Usually it's me and my dad haul and stuff, so that was pretty weird for sure.
Yeah, Super Joe is an Iron Man, and just the best guy. We got to get him on here one of these times for
Yeah.
sure. I know he's got some stories in talking to him that would definitely highlight what we're all about and the stories behind the story, because there's a lot of people that'll go, oh, wow, really? So,
Yeah, he would love that. He's got some stories in him for sure.
the so you've come through, you're all healed up, back in the car, and you get the call from Pastrana and the gang that they want you on, is it officially still Nitro Rallycross?
Yeah, so it's still Nitrocross. I'm
Right.
just in
Okay.
the side-by-side side.
Right. Yeah, and I was looking it up a little bit ago, and it really made me proud to see your picture under the side by side drivers. So that's pretty cool, and that's pretty stacked field.
It's a very stacked field, a lot of talent in that class for sure. I was super excited about it when I got the opportunity to do it. Um, I did one, I think it was like 3 years ago-ish.
Yeah.
And I think that's when UTVs were still kind of new into Nitrocross. And I got to do the ERX one, which was super fun. I really enjoyed it. I feel like it's a whole different level of short course off-road racing, because you got such a stacked field of drivers, and then the tracks that you race on are really like no other. You get the pavement side of things and the dirt side of things.
Yeah.
And
So
then
walk us through that part.
yeah,
Like,
so the track layout for the UT, well, I mean, we all race on the same track. So
right.
for the UTVs and the rally cars, we have a slightly different route, but yeah, like this past first one was in Richmond, Virginia, on their NASCAR track.
Nice.
And so I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I got to see the track map a little bit, but seeing it in person is a totally different story. So most of it was actually pavement. And I don't do much pavement stuff. I've done a
Right.
little bit in my past, but mostly primarily like dirt and off-road. So I was like, okay, this will be really interesting going into it. And the whole UTV class is the brand new Can-Am cars.
Right.
So not very many people or not many people have had time to really test in them or do any type of racing like this. So that was another factor. I was like, okay, we got a lot of new things being thrown at me this weekend. But I had a lot of fun with it. The track taught me so many more driving skills, and that's what I love about it, just how much you get to learn and keep improving on things. And the new Can-Am was such a blast to drive. Those cars are really solid for one. I mean,
Right.
it takes a lot to really even get them like upset or on the bike or anything like that. Quite a bit different than the one below that. I forget the name right now. Because that's the one I race. So
Right. The X3 compared to, what do they call the new one? The Maverick R.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is quite a big difference between the cars. They're both really solid. I can't really say which one I like better. But yeah, it was super fun. I learned a lot that weekend, which I feel even more prepared going into the next one, just because I didn't really know what to expect. So
What was it? So what was it like? Walk me through that first practice. Like you show up, obviously you've had a chance to walk the track, I'm guessing at that point, right?
yeah, we could I think we got to walk the track a little bit, and kind of where our whole pit row was right off the track, so we got to watch everybody run, and then we could just hop on the track and go do that. a different factor I wasn't expecting going into it was, so for practice, we got like, I think it was 3 laps of practice and 2
3?
3 laps and 2
Whoa.
practice sessions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was something I'm used to being on the track for, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, getting a practice session. And so to go into that, I knew we had to really pick up on it quick. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and even going into like race day, that's kind of how the whole layout of the day is. Like, I think 3 laps is like the most we got, besides, I don't remember how many were in the final. But yeah, so not a lot of time on the track, so you really have to make sure you're quick with grasping things, picking up on the car, picking up the track, and seeing where you can gain those tiny bits of a second.
Oh yeah, and you're pretty much you're all running basically equal cars, right? In theory.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the really cool part that I thought was totally different than anything I've done. So all of the side by sides are exactly the same. So no one really has an advantage there. It's kind of more of a driver's class. So
Nice.
like, yeah, it was really cool. I mean, getting to go out there and, bang doors with Travis Pastrana isn't something you get to do every day.
I saw on I think it was your social media where Jim Beaver, the Podfather himself, affixed was that a Pastrana bobblehead to your car, yeah?
Well, yeah, that was just an idea. We were literally out at dinner the night before race day, and we were just talking, and they were giving out these Travis Pastrana bobbleheads, the first like 2,000 people through the gates.
Yeah.
And that idea kind of came into the conversation, but we didn't have one, so that was the hard part. So the next day, Jim and one of our Mia guys that was there, Chris, went to hunt one down and got his hands on one. We were like, this is gonna be hilarious. So we zip tied it to the top of the car and got a GoPro facing it, and you just see it bobbling the whole time while I'm out on the racetrack. Yeah, fun little social thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I mean, it's all about fun, right? I
Yeah.
mean, not every race day is fun, but generally every race day begins with fun.
Yeah, it was a fun way to start the day for sure. And it stayed on the entire weekend. So
Wow, that's crazy. So when you got there, they like you really didn't have any seat time in the new Maverick R either, did you?
no, I had never driven one, never even sat in one
Wow.
before that weekend. So yeah, I was a little nervous because I was like, okay, this is something I haven't done before. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, it played out pretty well. I feel like it took me a little more time to get comfortable in the car, and get to know kind of how it drives and how it handles, especially on pavement and on street tires, because I've never really raced on street tires before, so I didn't really know how they would kind of behave out there. But yeah, a lot of learning curves for sure.
I didn't realize they ran on street tires. That's actually pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, I just assumed that they would run on knobbies, but I saw a bunch of the video clips, but I never really thought to look at the tires. So do they set it up more like a short course car where like maybe your ride height's a little lower and obviously I mean the car's massively wide to begin with.
Yeah, it's a pretty big car. They didn't do too much to it, just one right out of the box. I mean, the car's pretty handles pretty phenomenally. So, I know they did some work on the shocks, and I think that was about it. Besides replacing, obviously, like the seat belts, the
Sure.
steering wheel. So yeah, not a ton of work done to one that I know of. Um, and then yeah, racing on the street tires. I mean, there's a lot of components that came into play that weekend because
For
we can't
sure.
go and be like, okay, we're gonna change this on the car setup to make it handle better out there. It was, instead of making the car adapt to me and my driving style, it was me adapting to the car and how it drives.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
Yeah, which is a great thing to learn and have in my back pocket overall, but something new for sure.
For sure. So you keep going back to the pavement. So did did we have loop outs? Did we have big power slides? What was the most challenging part of the pavement? Like what got you? What was like, whoa, this is so different.
Um, I think the biggest thing was I've just never driven a UTV on pavement. So I'm used to how they handle on dirt. They're typically pretty loose. And you can get them pretty loose on the pavement too. It's just a different approach you take into it and not be like the first day everybody was pretty aggressive with setting the car, getting it sideways and kind of driving through the corners like that. Second day everybody got quicker, so it was more about driving through the corners from point A to point B as smooth as you could rather than, kind of drifting through it. And the cars pushed quite a bit, which I wasn't used to either. Usually we kind of just make, I don't know, a shock adjustment or something, and it kind of
Right.
frees it up a little bit. But since we couldn't do that, I kind of just, I just played with it and figured it out. And yeah, it was a lot of fun though. It was a lot of fun to figure out.
Yeah, I imagine that first session where you want to go-kart style, right? Or dirt bike style, stab the brakes, set it in, pitch it out, hold the throttle on and manage your way through the corner compared to on pavement, it's so much faster, hit your apex, don't
Yeah.
bind the chassis up. I can't imagine the amount of change that has to happen in your head
Hmm.
because short course stuff like your old short course days, um it was all about setting the car in and basically in essence drifting it through the corner to maintain your momentum,
Hmm.
whereas now it's more like hit your apex, drive it like an actual road car, it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the everything kind of changed from day to day, which was interesting to see. Because you go look at the lap times and kind of what your time is compared to everybody else. And then you go to the next day and they're faster and the way people are driving are different. So yeah, there's quite a bit of ways you can do it and, run your lines, but it definitely seemed like hitting your apex and getting it as smooth and straight as possible, the quickest you can was kind of the best way to get around there.
And that's awesome though, to be able to be able to adapt to that quick and in that few of laps for practice,
Mhm.
but two also, um like you said, what experience to put in your back pocket. It's like, okay, I can get a car through a corner on pavement now.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it's not crazy hard to figure out, but, being thrown into it in a weekend, it was like, "Okay, we really gotta pick up on this quick if we wanna be fast." So,
Right.
yeah, and there's still quite a bit of dirt, like, there was a lot of dirt turns and stuff, which is pretty cool, so, yeah, I feel a lot more prepared and just better about going into the next round, so I'm excited.
Yeah, well, you were saying it wasn't that tough, but for the average person that's not a racer and doesn't understand what an apex is or anything like that, um, they would be lost. It's
Mhm.
a lot tougher than you think, but you are definitely a racer without a doubt, and that's all part of it. When I rode bikes, that was something that the apex and smoothing the turns and stuff like that was all you know letting the chassis run itself out. When I crew chief karts, I coached the driver, just let it run.
Mhm.
But for the driver, finding that spot, how do you find that spot between letting the chassis run after the apex, not binding it up, and running out a racetrack?
Yeah, there when you put it like that, there's so many things that come into play that you gotta do and know. Yeah, I definitely struggled like the first day. Like I wish I could have had that first day as like a practice session before that weekend.
Right.
But like I said, I mean it's good for me overall to kind of pick up on those things quick. And that's kind of what the Red Bull Scrambles helped with too, because we didn't really get a lot of practice time either.
Right.
So it's kind of like just taking and applying that to a short course track with dirt and pavement.
Yeah. Well, and the other side of it is there's somewhat of an unfair advantage for you. I realize this was race one of the 24-25 season, right?
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. So, but in essence, that car, there's guys, Travis Pastrana, that you were racing against that had seat time in that car, so I mean, that's not, it is all the same car, but it's like there's people that had a little extra time than you for sure. So,
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of the drivers did do the previous season in the X3s. So they're kind of used to that, but even like Travis, when I went into that first round, was super helpful and open with everybody. He was like, if you guys want like my GoPro footage of this practice session, or you have questions about whatever, I mean, he was there to kind of help with that.
yeah.
So yeah, that part was pretty cool. And when you kind of went and looked at the lap times for like Travis and the top 3 or 5 of the field, it was all really, really close.
Yeah. That's exciting though. And this is Beam round one. How many rounds is there in the series? Does it run on a double header format, like a 2-day format for the racing? Is they consider
Mhm.
that like what you did that was in Richmond, right?
Yeah, that's typically how it is. We have, double days of racing, and I believe there's 5, maybe 6 rounds in the 24 and 25 season. So it is really cool that we get 2 days of racing rather than just one. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it so far.
Yeah, that's cool. And for those of you listeners in the Utah area, I believe you have one coming up very quickly here,
Yep.
first weekend of October, right?
Yeah, correct. First weekend of October in Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, Utah Motorsports Campus. I have it up on screen. I'm cheating.
There
Um,
you go.
yeah, well, I called it up real quick because I wasn't sure how they ran the format. So you're yeah, and then you're on your home track.
Hmm.
November 15th and 16th, you're on your home track. How's that going to be? Because you've got time there.
I do, but I don't. Like I raced on it for years when it was Firebird.
Right.
And that was before they kind of made the whole track setup completely different. And then I know Nitro does it a little different when they go there too. But yeah, I still have a lot of laps of the track, so I'm hoping it'll come back like muscle memory a little bit. And hopefully I can get some time on it because it's pretty close. There's events out there all the time, so hopefully I can get some time to go out there and burn some laps or something.
Yeah, for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate, um, what was it, Wild Horse? It's now Firebird again, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate pavement into that one because I know that's a big part of their format, right? Their track format.
Yeah, I went to the one, I think it was last year, maybe the year before. So that one, if I remember right, is mostly dirt. They do have like a back section where it cuts down and goes into a little bit of a pavement area and then transitions back onto the dirt on the front stretch.
So
So yeah, it'll be interesting.
yeah, if you haven't been to Firebird or Wild Horse, that would be like at the end of the short course where that parking lot is. I would imagine they're going to run out into there and then come
Mhm.
back to the front stretch. And it's going to be interesting because when I was there last year, they ran the American flat track bikes um, on a shortened up course, and they ran that. There's a big, big tabletop at
Mhm.
right in front of the grandstands. It'll be interesting to see if they keep that. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, it will be for sure, and they always add, an even bigger tabletop somewhere with, like, a gap jump.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I'm excited to see kinda what they do with it and change it up.
that's super cool. And for those of you listening that want to tune in, um, where can they see it? Like if they're not live, do you know where it is online?
I believe they're on Rumble.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
they
but
can.
it's super easy to look up if you just type in Nitrocross, live video, it'll pop up right away on whatever link that they use.
Awesome.
So, yeah, super
Good
easy.
info. Yeah, because you're gonna be doing. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm cheating. I'm looking at the schedule. So you're gonna be doing some traveling, kiddo. Like, let me see, Phoenix. Of course, you'll probably get sleep in your own bed for that one. Um, but then like, oh, by the way, folks, that's November 15, 16, and then they moved to January 11, 12 in Miami.
Yep, that'll be a new one, I've never been there, so
That will be sick. I would imagine you're going to be in some sand there. They'll get creative with some sand, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how they're gonna do that one, but I'm excited. That's one place I've never been, let alone raced, so it'll be
Oh, that'll be cool. And then looks like they wrapped the season March 1st and 2nd in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that'll be another cool one. I don't really know how they're gonna do it there. I'm assuming mostly pavement stuff, but I mean, racing in Vegas, it'll be pretty cool because I've only really done desert racing out there.
Yeah, I actually watched some of the videos from last year in Vegas, and I had some friends that were actually there and some that were working part of the course. And so I got to see a lot of um, cool video footage, and that it's nuts. It's insane. It's awesome. So it's yeah, how exciting is it? I mean, you're in for the full season, right?
Yeah, yeah, locked in for the full season. So yeah, it'll
That's
be
sick.
super exciting. It's something different that I haven't done before. So yeah, I think it'll be super cool just learning everything throughout the season, and the way they run things is kind of like no other series does. Kind of how they format their, practice sessions to their finals, their heat races. I mean, we're on the track multiple times a day for a few laps. So yeah, it'd be really cool. I'm excited though.
Yeah, now do they race head to head or all of you at once or
So they split us up into two groups for practices, qualifying, and I think when the heats roll around, I believe we're still in two groups still, but I'm still learning how they take people from each like heat race into the
gotcha.
semifinals, LCQ, and then the final. But for the most part, we're separated into two groups up until the final, I believe.
Nice. Wow. That's exciting. I hope I'll have to look at my schedule and see if I can get over there on the 15th or 16th because I'd sure it's been a while since I've seen you turn a wheel, so that'd be definitely pretty exciting for sure. Now, speaking of exciting, you've got, well, I was going to throw in this schedule with the way it is in 2 days and all that stuff. You're going to need a lot of this.
I take a lot of that for those race weekends. I recently discovered the really giant one. I think it's like 20 ounces.
Yeah.
So that has been my saving grace little pick me up throughout the day.
Right. For those of you who are listening, who will have the video out shortly, but if you're listening, it's the new Red Bull Watermelon Sugar Free. The way to tell, it's got a light blue band around it, and it is very tasty. Um, I I even like it. So, and I'm a sugar free and zero guy, and maybe the occasional Juneberry, but
Mhm.
that watermelon, our good friend, the General, Mr. Dave Butts, turned me on to the sugar free. and now it's like a staple in my fridge for sure. So, um,
I know. I wish I liked watermelon stuff so bad, but no matter what it is, I can't do it. I can only do like the real watermelon.
yeah. Oh, well, you got to give and take whatever you can for sure. So now I know you've got, and this will come out after Sand Sports, but you're going to be at Sand Sports, I believe, right?
No, I don't think so this year. Yeah, the schedule kind of panned out in a different way than we thought it would.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna be turning laps practicing somewhere that weekend. So unfortunately,
Gotcha.
no.
Ah, bummer. Well, like I said, the episode will come out after anyway, so it is what it is. It'd be cool if we saw you there, but yeah, man. So on top of everything else, I saw some social media, and we should, so everybody knows, Mia's social media is on Instagram.
Oh, it's Mia with 3 A's dot Chapman.
Okay, so look her up, give her a follow. Always good content, always fun stuff. But you were just doing some pretty cool stuff out with who? Tell us about it. Little photo shoot, video shoot action.
Oh yeah, this past weekend we went out with one of my longtime sponsors, Rigid Industries, to I don't want to say too much yet because it's not out,
No, that's
but
yeah, that's fine.
yeah, we did some really cool stuff on a product they're releasing here really soon, I think at Sand Sports. So yeah, we got to
Awesome.
go get out of the heat for a little bit, which was super nice. And it was up in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is pretty
Yeah.
close to us. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how it turns out. We had an awesome camera crew there to help, kind of film everything. So my dad actually got to be a part of the whole filming and storyline too. So
Oh, that's rad.
yeah, that was really cool. I mean, he works hand in hand with me with my race stuff throughout
Yeah.
everything, but never really in front of the camera. So yeah, that was pretty cool how they kind of incorporated him into it too.
Yeah, I think he usually tries to stay out of the camera shots, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I hope Joe listens to this and man, here's us giving him a hard time. So uh,
I know, I can't wait till you guys do one and see what he says about me.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, we're not PG-13, so you never know. I mean, um, we've had some colorful guests, and he will be no different, I'm sure. So, uh,
Yeah,
but
no, he will be good for sure. That's kind of our little dynamic of teasing each other and giving each other a hard time. So it's kind of funny to watch. But yeah, I'll definitely have to get him on for an episode.
yeah, I've got him on my list. I actually have him. I have Bobby Van Beekem on my list too. So,
Well, that'll
uh,
be an awesome one too.
yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, so what do you got? So you've been doing this video shoot and basically commercial stuff for Rigid. Great company, by the way, great product. Very, very, very tough off-road lighting, also on-road lighting. And so I think not too long ago, you guys just upgraded your dad's Harley, right? With a bunch of Rigid product. Came out really nice.
Yeah, it turned out really sweet. Yeah, I don't quite remember what he put on it, but it looks rad. And when he took it out and showed me at night, it was kind of crazy to see the difference between what was on there and then what he put on there. Because it was an insane amount of difference. So now he can go
Yeah,
out and do his thing.
Joe and I were talking just not too long ago about the replacement driving lights because he's got an older Dodge, I have an older Dodge, and so we're always comparing notes on upgrades, which Speaking of upgrades, like you guys, didn't you just hook him up with audio for his truck or something? I just saw something where you did some stuff with Kicker.
Yeah, I
It's
know
probably a few months ago, I think now.
yeah, we did a really cool little kicker build on my co-driver, Shane. He has a four-seater brand new
Oh
Polaris.
yeah, that's okay.
So yeah, put all new everything in there and it was super, super sweet. So and then
Nice.
we haven't got the video out yet, but we did something pretty cool with his Harley too. So
Very cool.
that's a drop, yeah.
So watch for that on Mia's social also, folks. And yeah, she is a full Red Bull athlete, but she is also and has been for a long time kicker athlete. And I'm bummed you're not gonna be there, but hopefully at Super Show, but hopefully maybe SEMA.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't been to SEMA in a few years, so maybe I'll, kind of hop on out there, see all my sponsors. There's quite a bit of them that are there, and SEMA show is always pretty rad to go to. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's always cool stuff going on, and we'll have actually um I don't want to let too much of the cat out of the bag, but we have a rigid equipped vehicle that will be featured side by side in our SEMA booth this year.
Oh, I think I know the one.
I guarantee you do. It's got an awesome audio system that see you may see some changes at SEMA.
Oh, okay.
So
I
that's
like it.
yeah. Yeah, it's we've been working on some stuff, so we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, okay, so I digress. Anyways,
We get
so
off on tangents.
oh yeah, well, that's the beauty of not having any kind of format. I've been on podcasts, a lot of podcasts, and a lot of them have their format and they're kind of stuck to it. And to me, my brain doesn't work in that mode. So it's like, let's just talk and have fun, and see where it all goes, right? So
Yeah, no, I love it that way. That's kind of how my brain is too, like kind of all over the place.
yeah,
Same thing when I go on Jim's podcast, we get off on 50 different tangents before we circle back to the one we were talking about, but
yeah,
it's always fun to listen to. You get all these different things. So, yeah.
yeah, for sure. So now what do you have next? Now you said you're going to be getting some more wheel time. Um, What's obviously you've got the Salt Lake Nitrocross coming very quickly, but what else? What else is Mia doing up in the next little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything just approaches so quickly. So, I'm looking forward to getting some seat time. I know that's a big goal of mine this year, especially coming into Nitrocross, is just to get in the car more with whatever it may be. And then that race will be coming up pretty soon here in Salt Lake. What else? Oh, I do have plans to go out to the Red Bull Athlete Performance Center in California to kind of get everything back on the right track and get a good fitness routine going and all of that since I've been hurt. Because I've just recently been able to get back into like the gym and working out and
Right.
stuff like that. So that'll be really good for me to go and do.
And
Um,
have you been out to that facility before? Did you work out there, train there previously?
yeah, I've been there last year one other time for I think it was like a week. And that was pretty unbelievable to see just their whole facility that they have there and the people and I mean from the actual physical fitness working outside of things to these fitness tests that are top level that you do to kind of figure out where you are and how to adapt a routine to you. I got to experience their nutritionist that they have and talk to and kind of see what was best for me in that sense.
Nice.
And they got stuff for the mental side of things too. So yeah, a lot of really cool, top-notch things that luckily I can use and go there and they can help me with whatever it is I need. So
Yeah, I saw some insight to that, and I didn't really know it existed, but I saw
Mhm.
some insight to that. Um, your fellow extra super young Red Bull wheel master, uh, Seth Quintero was out there, I think, right around Dakar time, and he was. It was really cool, some of the stuff that he showed. I didn't realize they had that, and man, how cool is that? What an opportunity!
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so many things, and it just helps us become better athletes and really outside of the race car. So yeah, I'm super thankful that they have that because it's helped me quite a bit. And just having that there if I need it is, yeah, really awesome to have. So
For sure, and it'll be good too. Like you said, coming back from injury, um, it kind of help you. Uh, believe me, I understand. A lot of times when you have an injury, you have to find ways to work around it to not irritate it or make it angry. And with the kind of back, um, with the kind of help that they can offer you, it certainly make it a lot easier than trying to figure it out yourself, for sure.
yeah, absolutely. I've been to the gym a few times since I kind of got cleared, and it's definitely different, which I knew it kind of would be. It wouldn't be exactly how it was before. And I also don't want to baby it either. So I'm like, okay, let's get there. We can get this figured out, figure out a good, healthy balance of, how to get there and move forward. So yeah, I'm looking
Right.
forward to that.
Nice. So what else have you got coming up after that? Where are you getting your wheel time? Where are you practicing?
Well, we have I keep forgetting they changed it to Firebird, but the Firebird track out here.
Yep.
We have wide open desert. We have some asphalt pavement stuff I can go practice on too. Luckily, there's quite a bit for me to go and practice on and do out here in Arizona. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna take advantage of that and get some wheel time. I do have a pretty cool event coming up here pretty soon in October, in Tempe, Arizona, called the Red Bull Chariot Race.
Oh,
So yeah, I don't know if you've seen the videos on that, but it's
I
pretty
haven't.
cool. So I need to do more research on it, but from what I've seen, they take and build these little like race car type things, anything that you can like has wheels and can race down this little track that they build. And it's not like full blown fab work like an actual race car is. It's just kind of them putting it together and seeing what they can come up with. And yeah, they race down this track, and it's interesting to see what people come up with and what they build. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be pretty cool.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Now, is that like they race downhill, or is it motorized, or is somebody pushing you, or
From what I've seen, none of them have been motorized. It's
oh,
like, yeah, they kind of go themselves, I believe, in whichever way the people choose to build the race cars to make it go down whatever it's going down. So it's not like a straight downhill, but I don't know how they do it. It looks pretty impressive.
yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. I'll be looking forward to seeing updates from that for
Yeah.
sure. That's crazy. Yeah, and you're doing a lot of um a lot of Red Bull, like just even meet and greet and events like that too. Um, they gonna get you out to any of these their specials with the F1 cars and stuff like that, or
I hope so. I need to get with my person about that. I went out to the one in Texas last year, and that was my first one ever, and I had so much fun. So hopefully I can find my way into another one this year.
yeah, that'd be rad. It's I I have never been to an F1 race, so but I know people that work the track at the Vegas one, and they were just some of the Snapchats that they sent me, you know, it- it's crazy.
Yeah, totally different world. Like I was just it was so different in the way obviously the way they run things, the cars and everything, but it's really cool to see kind of how they do it because it's such a prestigious type of racing, I feel like.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
yeah, it's awesome to be able to kind of experience that and see what they do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, um, what else you got coming? I mean, you've only got two of the last 3 months of the year full. So, what else you packing in there?
Definitely a lot of content, little builds and just making it type of stuff. I feel like, yeah, my months are kind of, at least for the next few, are kind of filled up with, races, events. So hopefully we can kind of get out, do some fun stuff, do some entertaining things. So
That sounds good. Sounds like a lot of fun. The and then like what did I say? January, you're back at it. Is that right?
yeah, yeah, I believe it's January.
Yeah. Yeah. Second weekend of January, you're in Miami in the sand
Yeah, yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Pretty
on
cool.
street tires.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things happening. Hopefully I can get some pretty cool builds or, just content going with some of my sponsors and kind of open up some times to do that because I have so many amazing ones that I can do some pretty cool stuff with. So, yeah, looking forward to that too.
For sure. And so when you're getting extra wheel time, um, do they, and I don't know on the nitrocross, do they provide you with the car? Do you take the car home? Is it your car and you have to build it and it's got to be to their spec or whatever? And
No, so Scotty Lawrence runs the whole UTV side of things there at
okay,
Nitro. So he has his team and crew guys that he provides the cars, works on them, everything. And we fly into wherever we're race. They load the cars, haul them back to wherever he's based out of, and then yeah, we fly home. So
rock
a lot
star.
a lot different than what I'm used to. I'm like, this is so weird to get used to. But yeah, it's a pretty cool program they have going and I was happy it kind of gives mostly my dad and me a break from actually having to drive the cars everywhere,
Sure.
bust here at home to get the car done and everything. So
Yeah. And
really cool.
so is there some new race cars in on the home front in your future? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I know that's what we were just talking about too. I don't know. I love the car I have now, but the new one's pretty rad too. So possibly.
Well, it's you just got to read between the lines there. It's like and even if you only have what if you added one more, you guys would probably still only have 6 or 7 race cars right now, right?
Oh God, I don't even, yeah, we have quite a few. I think I have like my actual race car of my own, and then I have a play car, and then my brother has his race cars too. And then of course, my dad's three-wheelers and pit
Right.
bikes and all of that. So yeah, quite a bit of toys here.
But it's not like you have like 18 race cars like Van Beekum does.
No, that would be really nice, but no.
You know, real quick, and not to steal your thunder or anything, but you couldn't race at Beach Scramble. But talking about your brother, I had a nice talk with him one afternoon. It's crazy, you guys are like young adults now, and you were just teeny tiny kids when I met you. I always envision you, with your with your pink and white fire suit and, you know, sitting
Yeah.
on sitting on a raised seat the first time you drove a XP 1000, and your brother was, you know, this spindly little kid, and now he's like, you know, what high school championship or champion, wrestling champion. Um, but he is also a race car driver, and it was at Beach Scramble. I actually talked about this on my recap from Beach, where it was the Rider and Rider show. Um, man, those boys, your brother and Ryder Van Beekum, who are right about same age, I believe, or very close.
Yep.
Uh, they put a spanking on the field till they had issues.
Yeah, yeah, they really killed it out there at the beach scramble. It was really fun to watch. I mean, I've watched both of them come from racing 170s at 6 years old up into what they're racing now, and just
Yeah,
it's crazy because I feel like we were just doing his first like both of their first 170 races yesterday, and now they're almost young adults. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see. Those kids have so much talent in them, and just they have no fear. So
right.
when they get out there on the racetrack, they're gonna put on a show for sure.
The yeah, when I think they ran the sportsman class out there, I believe it is, and you know, I was over on the at the end of the grandstands, um what would be the north end, kind of on the boardwalk side, to watch the start of the sportsman race. And man, those two laid it to it was like everybody was asleep at the start. Um, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I was so happy and cheering and jumping around inside my worthless piece of crap side by side diesel. I hope if we do it again, I hope we get better cars out there for staff. Um, but anyways, yeah, you know that car. I had to take the screw off the throttle pedal to get 21 out of it.
You told me that, and I was like, "There's no way this thing maxes out at 21." But sure thing, you were not
Yep.
lying.
No, and my damn foot would get sore, my calf would get sore from holding it on the floor and pushing it through the floor as hard as I could. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I have to be able to get from one end of this course to the other relatively quickly. This is not the answer I was looking for.
I might as
But
well had a golf cart at that point.
yeah, yeah, it probably could have been faster, but anyways, yeah, I just want to give a shout out to your brother Ryder because he's a great kid. I enjoyed talking to him out there in Jersey, and he's a talented athlete and a talented driver, just like yourself, you know. And there's a lot of genetics run strong right there. So, um,
Yeah, it's funny to see how similar we kind of came up through racing because when I was his age, I was doing competition cheer teams, school cheer teams, and racing. And that's kind of what he's doing now with the wrestling, the football, and kind of stuff like that, and racing on top of that. So yeah, I know he's definitely having a lot of fun with it. I think racing's probably takes the cake over wrestling and football, just fun wise. But yeah, he's having a lot of fun with it. It's cool to see as a big sister to watch him kind of go through what he's doing.
yeah, that's really cool, and you know, he's got tough shoes to follow, you know, really, because um, you know, I kind of feel like you can drive about anything. Um, and it's just a matter of, you know, what Mia puts her mind to, what she's going to drive. Um, and you've proven that from, you know, what were they, the Pro 2s?
I
Uh,
raced a pro light.
Pro Light, yeah. From a Pro Light in the big house. Um, which, by the way, how tough was it? Because you weren't out there racing this year, were you?
No, no, I was having some very bad FOMO as well. Crandon is just one of those races, like whether you're racing or not, it's just so much fun to go to.
Yeah, I honestly don't feel bad. I've never been.
Oh my gosh, we
Yeah,
gotta go one of these years. It's
I
so
know.
fun.
Well, it usually falls in at the same time as other events, being on that, Labor Day weekend time frame. Um, so I missed it a lot of years when I was doing the invasion up in Idaho, and then um, I keep hoping that I'll get the call from either Red Bull or Polaris to go out there and work the event. But a lot of times, I end up working events elsewhere in the country. So it's one of those things, but it's definitely a bucket list thing for me for sure. I've got to go at some
Yep.
point.
Yep, that one of my favorite races. I wish I was still doing it, but yeah, it's such a cool race to watch and seeing like the cup race. I think is my favorite race of the weekend to watch because you really don't know which way it's gonna go. So yeah, we'll definitely have to get you out there.
Yeah, it's pure craziness for sure. So the well, hopefully, 2025 we'll see out there in something. Whether it's a side by side or a truck or a buggy or class 11.
Yeah, you never know what we have in the works, but
That's pretty awesome. Don't leave anybody hanging there or anything.
never.
No, that's rad. So I'm super excited that you're on the full series for Nitrocross. And I'm hoping that we get a green light here pretty quick for Sand Scramble. Um, and they've talked about permanently moving it to what was it, the May, I believe, date is where we were this last year. um, that worked out really well. So and I'm hoping they bring some scrambles back and throw some more scrambles out there. um, Maybe not, you know, 6 or 8, but maybe, three big ones and call it a grand slam or something like that with the championships, because you are a Red Bull Scramble Series champion also.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really, really enjoy doing the scrambles, just all the places we went, which is definitely a lot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what they're gonna do with it, which events, they keep or do differently or something like that. So
Yeah.
just stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see too. I'm hoping they do more of the big ones where
Hmm.
I get the opportunity to get the call, because I always
Hmm.
love doing that. So, and it's great. I get to see all my off-road family. So, it's a party bonus for sure.
Yeah, no, that was the really cool part about them. Just seeing like it was just a different dynamic of bringing everybody together from the average person that just goes out, takes their UTV out and does it for fun,
Yep.
and the full on race car drivers and getting that whole community to kind of merge together. So yeah, hopefully they can put on some pretty cool events next year.
Yeah, everything from like Mia saying, everything from full blown, full built, full on race cars to the average Joe paper plate racer. And if you don't know what a paper plate racer is, Google it. We don't have time to explain it, but it's my podcast. I can say what I want.
That's hilarious.
So, and hopefully we'll see you, uh, at some upcoming races, but also, April is always a busy month, and Desert Storm with Team Kicker. So that's always a highlight. Getting you out there and hanging out and doing crazy stacker stunts on the slide, and um, have some great video of that. Actually, one of the videos is one of my higher ranked reels. So that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are all trouble when you get them all together for sure. But,
Never.
but it's always fun for sure.
Yeah.
Mia, um, so do you have any other exciting anything that you want to share before we get to sponsors and closing comments?
I think that was about it. I'm sure stuff will probably pop up tomorrow and next week of new stuff to do. But yeah, no, super fun year so far. Really looking forward to the rest of it and seeing how everything goes.
Yeah, lots of big things coming for me in through the end of 24 and into 25, and as she led on, a lot more than she said happening in 25. So we're going to have to watch that. Be sure and follow her social media on Instagram, the @ symbol Mia with 3 A's .Chapman.
There you go.
Yeah, I always knew it looked funny, but I never really thought I didn't catch that it was Mia with 3 A's. So there you go.
Yeah, the singular one was taken, so I was like, this is just gonna be the next best thing. But I mean, if you just type in my name, it pops up too. So
Yep. Yep. Be sure and give her a follow and stay up with what she's got going on. Check out her content. She's got some cool stuff already. I look forward to seeing that rigid commercial coming up with you and your dad.
yeah, you'll have to keep an eye out for that. I'm super excited to see how it turns out too.
I will for sure. And all right, we need to get to all your sponsors. I know you have a bunch and a great group that has surrounded you for a long time. So make sure you get them all.
Yeah, no, none of really what I do would be possible without my sponsors. I think we've talked about it before. My race team is really kind of me, my dad, and my manager, who I call my crazy uncle. So, yeah, sponsors are a huge thing in my program. So obviously we have Red Bull.
Yep.
We have Vision Wheel, Kicker Audio, Rigid Industries, ZMAX Race Products, Sparco, Rugged Radios, Super ATV, and I believe that was all of them.
Nice.
But
Nice.
yeah, no, big thanks out to everybody, everybody who supports me, watches me, and kind of makes all this possible.
Oh yeah, I will always support you. I got your back, and since you were like 11, so it's in for the long haul, I'd say for sure. And it's always fun watching what you're up to next, and always always willing to tackle new challenges, whether it's nitrocross in a car you've never driven before, or craning in a truck you've never driven before, or triple or quad stacking on the slide on the boom tune. Um, it's always something, right? And you're always up for the challenge. And man, that's great. Always smiling. What a great attitude. Your sponsors are lucky to have you represent them for sure. And you got special thank yous. I know you got special thank yous.
Oh yeah, definitely to my dad, my mom and my dad, my whole family that, makes this happen. My dad's the one driving with me everywhere, traveling with me to wherever my next event races. So definitely a crazy life to be involved in, on top of, kind of what he does for his day-to-day job. And, same thing for my mom and my brother. So yeah, definitely wouldn't be possible without them and my crazy uncle Jim Beaver.
Yeah. The Podfather.
Oh yeah.
That's Cole nicknamed him the Podfather. That was one of the
I like
first.
that.
That was Jim's podcast was one of the first podcasts in motorsports
Mhm.
and one of the first podcasts Cole ever listened to.
Oh yeah, it's been around for so long. It's really cool to see what
She
he's
just
done with
called you
it.
old Cole.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. Jim has been around for a long time, and he's been a great asset to us at this show and a great help. Always willing to reach out and help and and give good advice. And that's not being a racer, that's not always the case with people. They don't always give you the best advice. And I can say 1,000% Jim has been fantastic at helping us out. We have episode 115 earmarked just for him.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, it's hard coming up as, a young adult in this whole race industry. So having him right there help both me and my dad kind of navigate things and see how things work on a really big professional level and help me build my career and, my brand and all of that has been super awesome. And yeah, we love having him around. He was just out at my Richmond Nitrocross race, so we got to do all kinds of shenanigans and have some fun with it.
Yeah, that's rad. And I heard talk that there may be some Mia Chapman racing apparel
Yeah, that was the one thing I forgot to mention.
and
Yeah,
merchandise.
we just got some designed and finalized and going to print here soon. So I'm super excited about that. We haven't done merch in years, and this one will have some pretty cool design aspects to it. So yeah, I'll definitely have to send you guys a few and yeah, see how they turn out when I drop them on social media.
Yeah, well, be sure and follow our social media because I may or may not have seen some previews of some options, and there's some pretty rad stuff out there. So um, pretty excited for all that. I for sure wanted to get that in, and I know Jimmy is actually kind of help drive that with you and help get that stuff going. And he's got the whole Misadventure Life brand, which I'll give a shout out to. Completely non-paid endorsement. And you can see it right here off to my right.
Yeah.
MAddOG'S very own Misadventure authentic apparel. So yeah, but keep an eye out on Mia's Instagram. That's Instagram, the @ symbol MIAAA dot Chapman. And
Nailed it.
yeah, you'll see it all soon. With some people, you have to spell real slow for them. So
I'm one of those. It's okay.
Mia, thank you so much for being on. You got any parting statements? Anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me on. I always have so much fun when we hop on and do a podcast. So yeah, thank you for having me on and hopefully it was a good one.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good one. Always fun with you. Thank you so much for jumping in this afternoon and making time and always a pleasure to have you on. And I'm super excited about what you got going on. Really stoked. And I have given you her Instagram several times, and now Mia's going to give it to you once more. And then we're going to say goodbye.
You want me to say it again?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
definitely.
That Mia with 3 A's dot Chapman.
Yeah, we definitely want people to check it out and to listen. So, right on, Mia. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being on, and we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Wow, such a great kid, man. So much going on. She is dynamite behind the wheel and can pretty much drive about anything I've seen. And I'm sure that Nitrocross is going to add to even more opportunities and more great stuff coming Mia's way. Man, I just want to say a special thank you to all our partners and sponsors. Of course, Kicker Performance Audio, Kicker Power Sports Audio, Kicker Marine Audio, Kicker Personal Audio. For all your audio needs, hit them up, kicker.com, on Insta, at Kicker Audio, Facebook, Kicker, YouTube, Kicker, and every other Tuesday night for their live TV show, 7:30 p.m. Central, live on Facebook, YouTube, and now X, Kicker Unmasked Live. Of course, Bomber Eyewear, Tommy and his gang have done such an amazing job with fantastic product, durable, safe. They float and they protect your eyes. Bomber Safety Eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear, Bomber Sunglasses, bombereyewear.com. Over 40 styles of frames and numerous lenses. Look them up on Insta at Bomber Eyewear, on the webs, bombereyewear.com. Of course, the Premix Podcast and our man Cole. Thank you so much for always making things happen for us and sharing his love for all things desert racing, MX, and a little speedway. Check him out on Instagram, the @ symbol, THEPREMIXPODCAST, at the Premix Podcast. Slide into his DMs and get your prints ordered. Of course, Kelsey Morrell Film, turning all our video mayhem into beauty on our Mad Dog Media YouTube channel. She produces our shorts. She takes care of our audio, takes care of our light balance that sometimes we fight, anything and everything. She's got you covered. You need anything from still photos to full videos, TV commercials, whatever you need, pre-production to post-production. Look her up on Instagram at Kelsey Morrell Film. Of course, Hey Geeks Marketing got us covered for our website, our social media templates, our logo work, just about everything we got as far as any of that stuff goes. You know, you need a social media campaign done. You need a social media account built or managed. You need a website built or a store added to your website. Look her up. Yell, Hey Geeks. Find her online, heygeeks.com, on Instagram at Hey Geeks Marketing. And of course, where will we be without Cole doing the speech?
Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on your absolute most favorite streaming platform. Do it.
That is beautiful, dude.
Thanks,
With
man.
that, yeah, dude, you are the best. What a voice. With that, just want to say, God bless our troops. God bless our first responders. God bless our POWs. God bless this podcast. And God bless America. Mad Dog out.